Let me tell you a story. Back then when I was in high school, I remember there was this just one time I was having lunch with my friend at the canteen, and out of nowhere, he just called me fatty. It meant to be a joke, but it was quite insulting at the time. And while it didn't really hurt me that much, after that I remember vividly that I went back home with another best friend of mine, and he told me that his younger sister, who just recently came into this high school, told him that, "Oh, why is your friend such a fatty?" And she was referring to me, by the way. And it kind of dropped a chord in me, right? It was painful, and obviously I didn't have the emotional maturity to deal with it at the time. But ultimately, this caused me to develop some self-esteem issues. And I remember right after that, like a few days that I had another badminton practice with my friend. I was so down and kind of I wouldn't really say depressed, but I wasn't really happy at the time. I kept on telling him during our rest breaks, "Oh, why am I so ugly and why am I so fat?" Stuff like that, right? Because at the time I also had acne issues, and obviously I wasn't this guy. I was pretty chubby, and yeah, it all kind of impacted me really strongly, and which really caused me to develop poor self-image of myself. And then remember this time I was around 14, if I wasn't mistaken, and to add on top of that, I had even recently broke up with my girlfriend at the time, right? It wasn't really a girlfriend, but you get what I mean? And ultimately, this caused me to start re-evaluating myself. It was painful and I didn't have the emotional maturity, but I just had to move on. And how did I move on? Such a coincidence that I actually met a few guys who are a few years older than me, and they look really good, right? They had muscular, and this ultimately dropped a chord in me, and I was like, "Oh shit, so there's actually something I could do to look like that," which was just to go to the gym, right? And such is how I actually first started to finally notice that I actually have control over my attractiveness, and it's not really just something just purely genetic, right? So over the years, as I started to really level myself up and to improve my attractiveness, here are the 9 hacks that I found that can make you instantly become more attractive. Are physical, and some of them are on the mental side as well. Because ultimately, if you look the best, but you still have low self-confidence, you don't speak to people, you don't look straight into their eyes, you're ultimately not going to come off as attractive. So, without further ado, let's get into number 1. The first hack that you can do to instantly improve your attractiveness is to drink more water. And that means at least 3 liters of water a day. I know the daily recommended 8 cups of water, but I suppose if you're watching this video, you're way better than that, right? Water is literally the life source. Without water, there can be no life. Can you imagine? So you can just imagine how important this substance actually is. And what water does for you is help you hydrate your body, flush out your toxins, and to really, when your body is hydrated, right, it kind of improves your complexion, makes your skin glow better. And for those of you, I know that definitely those of you who think that, "Oh, water is going to give me water retention and make my face bloat more." Well, the reason your face bloats a lot and you have water retention is probably because you're taking in too much sodium, and it's really not the case with water. Drinking water does not increase water retention, that's for sure, right? And yeah, this is overall just the basics, and you actually absolutely have to do, and you absolutely have to get it right if you want to improve your attraction. And how you can do this? Just fill up. Just buy the biggest possible bottle that you can get at the supermarket or online, right? And just make sure you fill up. If you buy your bottle is 1.5 liter bottle, you can just fill up both, fill it up twice a day and finish it. And by the end of the day, you've drank 2 liters of water, right? It's not that hard. All you have to do is to just be more active, so you can sweat more and you'll be more likely to be more thirsty, right? So moving on to the second tip, and that is to start working out. I know some of you gym bros might be saying, "Oh, but I already work out." Bro, you're most likely doing weights only, right? Are you doing cardio? That's the question, right? If you're not doing cardio, you should be doing that. I admit, I used to do weights all the time in the past, and I would never do cardio, not even once a week. And yeah, this helped me to gain muscle, but ultimately I look muscular, but I was fat at the same time, so it's not a good look if you ask me. And the reason why cardio is so important for you, it's not just that, it really improves it might not build muscle, but it improves your endurance, get your heart pumping and get the blood flowing, ultimately makes you look more healthier, you have a more radiant glow about yourself, right? And also burn fat at the same time, which makes you more leaner, right? A more leaner physique is definitely more attractive in most cases. And for those of you who only do cardio, thinking it's only going to burn fat, that's all you need to burn fat. Well, weight build muscle, and muscles are very metabolically active, which ultimately helps you to burn fat even while you're seated, right? So ultimately, you should be doing both, ideally. So how much? You ask me, just you can go to the gym at least 3 times a week, which I'm currently doing at this stage of my life. Although I'm still young, but it just fits in with my schedule better, and I do cardio 2 to 3 times. That's the most ideal, right? Balance it out. And the third hack is to start having a facial care routine, right? I know many guys like me in the past, I used to not care about my facial routine at all, you know? Although I had severe acne at the time, I'll probably pop it up somewhere around here. I still wouldn't care much, you know. Or I would say, oh, I had really bad genetics, or I blame my parents, or my dad has such an oily skin. And ultimately, I still didn't care that much about myself, you know. All I used was a basic supermarket cleanser, and I wouldn't even use it consistently every day, right? So, if you're someone who has acne, or you have just poor skin in general, I really understand you, right? I was once there. And what ultimately changed my skin for the better was to have a facial care routine. Now you might be asking, oh, it sounds so complicated and stuff. Bro, what sounds more complicated? Having bad skin, acne, or having clear and good looking skin, right? And if you really want to take in this message for yourself, here's how you can start easily. Just you don't need to have a 7-step, 8-step skincare routine. You can just start off by first using separate towels for your face and your body. Because when you use the same towel for your body and your face, can you imagine wiping all the oils and the sweat, and the germ on your body and dead skin and rubbing it on your face? That's terrible, isn't it? That's why you should have a separate towel for your face and your body. And after that, the second thing you can do is just use a good quality facial cleanser. One that suits your skin, whether you're oily, dry, or your combination skin. You can always find one online. The one I use currently is the Celery Moisturizing Cleanser, which is good for dry skin, but everything ultimately is still up to your type of skin, right? And the third thing you can easily do is just to moisturize. You can use any kind of moisturizer you like, as long as you're not sensitive to it. Just slap it on every time you take a shower, right? Because your skin is going to be so damn dry and you're going to need it, okay? These are just the 3 basic things you need to get started with a facial care routine. Not that complicated, guys. The fourth thing that you can do is to have a hair care routine, right? Besides having a skincare routine, your hair is almost as equally important as your skin, right? So you want to really be taking care of your hair. How do you do so? I suppose most of you guys are probably using some kind of shampoo you got at the department store from the supermarket, right? Just generic brands. And trust me when I say these brands, these shampoos are destroying your hair, okay? Trust me when I say I was like you, and I used to use this kind of shampoos which gave me extremely dry hair, and I already had dry hair in the first place, so I end up having a very my hair will always freeze up, you know. And I have curly hair, so it would be really terrible and my hair will be all over the place. I'll basically having bad hair days all day, every day. So what you need to do is to first identify like the kind of hair you have and whether it's a more dry or oily kind of hair, right? If you have a more dry kind of hair like I do, then I suggest trying out not using shampoo. I know this is going to sound crazy to some of you, and you might be worrying, what? Doesn't it sound like hair is going to be dirty? Trust me when I say you want, as long as you wash your hair thoroughly, and you can use conditioner to wash your hair, right? Basically, what you do is to apply your conditioner and leave it there for like 1 or 2 minutes for minimum, and then you can wash it off thoroughly and your hair will be as clean as if you did with shampoo. And another thing you can do, which was a life changer for me, was to apply leave-in conditioner after I showered and my hair had dried, so it would retain some of that moisture. Ultimately, hair care is really just so important, and just how important it is, and you should really implement it together with your facial care routine. Now for the 5th hack that you can use is to start leveling up your style. I've seen so many genetically good looking guys who somehow don't care about their style, Maybe they'll just wear their old t-shirts, oversized pants, and going around looking like a bum, when frankly they had potential to look very well put together and presentable, right? You don't want to be that guy who acts so immature and wears like a kid. Chances are if you're watching this video, you're a bit more mature than the vast majority of your peers, I suppose. And yeah, don't neglect your style at all, guys. Regardless of whether you have to kind of learn and study out other people's styles, be it like soft boy, you can like streetwear, or you can maybe even like the old money style, you're really going in fashion now. And you can just easily search up these styles on Pinterest and find out how people dress up using that style and see whether it looks good on you. You can go to the shop, maybe you can go to Uniqlo, H&M, you can try on their pieces and try to emulate these people on Pinterest and just see how well it works out for you, right? And that's how you eventually find out a style that suits you. But in the event that now that you still haven't found out your style and you're just getting started, I mean, you can just stick to the timeless pieces, right? Just go with the plain t-shirts, you know, in a more basic tones, maybe black, white, you know, maybe even navy blue, colors like that. And you know, you can always stick to chinos, you can stick to jeans, and even, you know, for your shoes, you stick to white leather shoes. I mean, these things just never go out of style, right? You can wear it regardless whether in your 50 years ago or now, it's still always going to be in style because that's just what looks good in general. Right? The number 6 thing is to start caring about your nutrition. Guys, I can't stress this enough, but like nutrition, literally, the thing that you put inside your body is literally going to impact how you feel and how you look so massively that I should have put this in the first item on the list besides the water, right? What you want to do if you totally have no idea about nutrition, I suggest you checking out other nutrition videos, but here's the core fundamentals, right? Focus your meals around protein. I see so many people focus on their meal around carbs and you know the outcome isn't pretty at all, right? Focus your meal around proteins and build around that, you know, and have a variety of, you know, fruits and vegetables, as many varieties as possible, you know, and just have like, you know, you can add in nuts, you can add in, these are just all you need to really boost your nutrition game. And here's another tip for you, is to, like the next time you go and buy something to eat and you look at the ingredients list, if there's anything on there that you have no idea what it is and doesn't seem like a food, well, be careful, alright? What you want to do is to focus on the single ingredient foods. Imagine seeing something like, oh, all these different kind of chemicals in your food. That's definitely not good for you. So, possible, avoid processed foods. And that's my nutrition tip that I always follow for you, right? 7th hack is to get at least a minimum of 8 hours sleep per night. I don't know how many people I've seen have shitty sleep schedules and don't sleep enough, but for some reason, this is literally also something I will put in the number 1 priority, right? If you don't have a proper sleeping schedule and sleeping a minimum of 8 hours a night, you're going to literally function at like what, 10% of your potential. You're losing out on so much by sacrificing your sleep, regardless of whether it's to work or even worse, play games and to watch videos or waste your time, right? Sleeping doesn't just reduce the eye bags, which literally make you less attractive, but another thing it does is that it helps. It's like sleep is for recovering the body, right? So it recovers the skin, makes you have a better complexion, makes you look better. There's a reason why all these celebrities and models, before they have their photo shoots, they have probably a 10 or 12 hour beauty. There's a reason for it, right? It literally makes you look more attractive the more you sleep. And for the 8th hack is to start working on your social skills, right? This is something I admit I haven't been really focusing on previously, but I'm starting to do so now. That despite you, if you follow the first 7 tips, maybe you will look definitely far more attractive than you are now. But despite looking attractive, if you don't have the social skills to back that up, you will still be the same guy seated at the corner, not speaking to anyone else, trying to act mysterious because he looks cool. Trust me when I say, being that mysterious guy isn't cool. You look like a creep. What you want to do, start improving your social skills to get out of your comfort zone, talk to people. If you don't know what to say hi. And trust me when I say, if you say hi with a smile and you have an open body language, right, people will actually reciprocate. Very rarely you find people who will be mean if you say hi to them or greet them. Trust me. And this is just the very first step you can take. Once you start getting more used to saying hi to new people, you can start bringing up new topics, you know. You can start asking how was your day, or if you're in a university environment, you can ask, oh, how was the classes, you know, or how is the lecturer like, and you know, is it challenging, and stuff like that, you know. You can basically ask about anything according to the context you are in. People like to share things. People like to talk about themselves. Ask them more about themselves. This is how you get used to being more social. And being more sociable means you ultimately become more attractive, because people are drawn to groups of people, and if you are able to attract a group of people around you, you ultimately attract more people to come into your life because they think you're more interesting. And if you still want to learn more on social skills, I suggest you checking out the book How to Win Friends and Influence People algo. It's an absolute game changer for if you need to improve your social skills. Highly suggest you check that out. And moving on to the final hack, hack number 9, and that is to start keeping promises to yourself. I know, this is going to sound a bit weird for most of you guys. What have keeping promises with myself got to do with my attractiveness, right? Well, here's the thing. To become attractive, I suppose most of you will agree that you should be more confident. You should be able to be more confident in the things you do and the way you act, and have a more confident body language. Everybody talks about confident. But what exactly is confident? Confidence simply is the belief in your ability to accomplish something. How do you develop this ability? It's not something you can just choose, Oh, I want to be confident so I can be confident. No, you can't choose to be confident. Confidence develop over time. It's like a skill. You have to practice confidence. And how do you get this? How do you practice confidence? Because since, as we stated earlier, that confidence is basically the belief in your ability to do something. This means if you keep your promises to yourself, let's say you promise yourself to go to the gym 3 times this week, and if you manage to keep that going to the gym 3 times every week for, let's say, a year or 6 months, for example, you start stacking up evidence of your ability to accomplish these promises that you keep for yourself, which ultimately makes you more confident. And this confidence doesn't just apply to you at the gym, it actually transfers over to the rest of your life and throughout all other aspects, which makes you seem as a confident person. And that's how confidence is developed. Imagine, on the other hand, promise yourself to do something and you didn't do, you will kind of feel like an imposter, right? You never feel confident because always set promises but you never accomplish them. That's just not a good thing, right? As Alex Hormozy said, confidence comes from having a stack of undeniable proof that you are not an imposter, or something like that, right? I'm just paraphrasing here. And that's it, guys. And that is the 9 hacks that you can use to instantly become more attractive for both physical and mental attractiveness. If you want to see more content like this in the future, I highly suggest you clicking the subscribe button and clicking the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.